And we begin at 6 today with the investigation into the LAUSD superintendent, Alberto Carvalho. Good evening once again, everyone. I'm Colleen Williams.
And I'm Michael Brownlee. NBC4 Investigates was the first to tell you about the search warrants the FBI served here today. This all began this morning. Our cameras were there at the superintendent's home in San Pedro. Agents also served a warrant at his office in Westlake.
NBC4's Alex Rozier leads our coverage tonight from San Pedro.
News Chopper 4 was overhead in San Pedro as officials with the FBI pulled property from LAUSD Superintendent Alberto Carvalho's home. Today in LA's Lauren Coronado asked questions as they left.
Good morning. Can you guys share any comment on what was taken from the home? No comment. How long have you guys been here?
Though FBI officials offered no comment in San Pedro, we did hear from the superintendent's neighbor, who said the law enforcement activity started around 6 a.m.
And we heard the sirens going off, and then all of a sudden somebody said, "Stay in your house."
How many people did you see involved with this operation?
I saw at least 5, 6. They were parked in front of my house and one house above. I saw that one was with a camo with a rifle pointing at the house.
As the FBI searched the superintendent's home, they also served a search warrant at the LAUSD headquarters in downtown Los Angeles and at a home in South Florida. Carvalho previously served as superintendent in Miami. So far, the FBI and DOJ only confirmed that court-authorized searches took place. Separately, court records show federal prosecutors have an ongoing fraud case against the CEO of a failed tech startup, a startup that landed a multi-million-dollar contract with LAUSD to develop an AI chatbot. Carvalho is not named in the case. The reason for today's raid is still unclear. LAUSD offered a brief statement saying, quote, "We have been informed of law enforcement activity at Los Angeles Unified School District headquarters and at the home of the superintendent. The district is cooperating with the investigation, and we do not have further information at this time." But back at the superintendent's home, Carvalho's neighbor says he doesn't know what happened, but he wants people to wait for the facts to come out.
You want people to not to rush to judgment?
Yeah, everything needs due process. But I really think this could have been done in a much simpler, more common fashion.
We have confirmed that no arrests took place today. We did reach out to Superintendent Alberto Carvalho and his attorney, but we haven't received a response. We're live in San Pedro. I'm Alex Rozier, NBC4 News.
Thanks, Alex. Our team coverage continues right now with our investigative reporter, Eric Leonard. Eric, you've seen the searches today. Is there anything we can take away from that or deduce, given the sort of investigation that we're seeing out there and where they went?
Yeah, I think so, because to some degree it is pretty clear that whatever the feds are after, it's something they believe the superintendent may be personally involved with rather than, let's say, a larger bureaucratic suspicion about the way the school district may be managing its money. The search at district headquarters appeared limited to the superintendent's work areas, and the search of his home would also seem to point directly in that direction. The FBI also searched a house in Florida today in connection with the same case. Now, that's owned by a woman with ties to Carvalho. Property records show her name is Deborah Kerr, and she recently told a bankruptcy court that she still owed a commission for closing a $6 million artificial intelligence software deal with the LAUSD you just heard Alex mention. The bankruptcy case follows the collapse of that software company, which was owned by another woman who was indicted in 2024 on federal fraud charges in New York. Of course, we should mention that New York fraud case does not mention Carvalho by name, Deborah Kerr, or so far anyone connected with the LAUSD.
A lot of moving parts to this here. So what happens next in an investigation like this?
A lot of things, and unfortunately, it can sometimes take a really long time. The searches that we saw today may not be the only ones conducted. Remember, it's just what we saw. There could be many more, and often when we see the FBI out searching a physical space, like the office and the house, those are done in concert with search warrants to digital service providers, cloud services, phone companies, and so on. Remember, it has to be a felony case because you can't get a search warrant for a misdemeanor or anything less significant. And these investigations can take months, even years to mature into criminal charges or indictments. Federal white-collar cases are often slow. They're methodical. We saw that in the months that passed between the FBI searches of the LA City Hall, the city attorney's office, the Department of Water and Power years ago. The indictments eventually targeted members of the city council, executives at the DWP, city council members, but those took a long time to appear, so it could be months.
All right.
All right, Eric Leonard, as always, we appreciate your insight.
You got it.
All right. And we'll have continuing coverage both on air and online. So stay on top of these new developments on the NBCLA app and our website, NBCLA.com.